With WWE seemingly not interested in a CM Punk return and more, this is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we move on, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Rambles with notifications on, and don't forget to like the video. Mentioning why he is unwilling to watch NXT despite Becky Lynch appearing on the brand, former WWE writer Vince Russo said on his Legion of Raw podcast, "I have nothing against these two women, but I don't think anything would get me to watch NXT. Bro, I don't know what they would have to do to get me to ever put that show on." Taking to Instagram, NXT star Arianna Grace would remind fans of her training as she wrote, "Yes, I'm a trained dancer and pageant queen, but don't forget I'm also trained in boxing, judo, and jiu-jitsu. Sleep on me and get put to sleep. Bam." On his podcast, Kevin Nash would talk about the pro wrestling career of Scott Hall's son, Cody, coming to an end back in 2016, where he suffered a neck injury, saying he's 6'10". If he wouldn't have caught one of those young bucks that broke his neck over in Japan, if he just delayed and let the guy bounce off the concrete, he'd probably be in the business somewhere working. Instead, he got his neck broke over in Japan, and along with that, a lot of dreams got shattered. When you lose your dad, it's just effed. And I think he and I are kind of the same. I think that maybe I'm like the only person that misses his dad as much as he does. Taking a shot at CM Punk, Ryback would accuse the former AEW star of trying to make him look bad in WWE in front of the Shield, saying on his podcast, "You're caught up about the role you see on TV but don't understand the monster that he really is. The guy literally went up to the Shield, and I already know the Shield through developmental, that I was going to go and no-sell them and that I was going to be very difficult to work and try to hurt them. They all knew me already, they all would testify. Ambrose already has come out and talked about it, like he called me a sweetheart and sweet human being. That's the kind of person Phil is, though. He will go create drama somewhere." Breaking her silence on the passing of her fiancé and WWE superstar Bray Wyatt, JoJo Offerman wrote on Instagram, "I've written and rewritten this post so many times because there are no amount of words in this world to describe Wyndham and what he means to me. But I've also been avoiding it because in some weird way it makes all of this all too real. I miss the love of my life so much it hurts. He was everything I ever wanted and everything I never knew I needed, and I let him know that every day. I'm so grateful that he allowed me to love him fiercely, but I am so blessed he loved me fiercely in return. He was and always will be the best person I know, my best friend, and my soulmate. Wyndham truly gave me a love that will last a lifetime, and oh baby, I thank him for that. He was the kindest, funniest, most caring man in the world. He made me feel beyond special every single day. He made everyone feel special, which was one of the million things I loved about him. Our bond was magical, something only the two of us understood, and that beautiful bond brought two perfect babies into the world. That's another thing. He was the best daddy to Nash, Hyrie, Caden, and Kendall. Family was everything to him. Wyndham knew me better than I knew myself, and he always knew how to calm my storm as I did for him. He was the only person in the world that I could be unapologetically myself around, and not only did he accept it, he loved it. I cry because I wish we had more time, baby, but I smile because I was so blessed to be loved by you in the time we did have. I will always love you, Wyndham. I will always show our kids how how incredible their daddy is. I will always make sure they know how much you love them, and I will always make you proud just like you made me proud. I love you forever, baby, until we meet again. Those in WWE reacted to this as Samantha Irvin said, "My sister, on my mind incessantly. You two are two of the most beautiful, kind, talented people to ever grace the earth. I love you and I'm with you always. I'll never stop praying for your continued passion, peace, purpose. With the strongest strongest, most brilliant angel guiding you. I love you. Bayley wrote, we love you so much. Zelina Vega said, love you sis, I'm so sorry. Just know that we are here for you in any capacity you need. Sending the utmost love and respect. And Kathy Kelly wrote, love you and the baby so much. Here for you always, Joe. It appears that last week, Vince McMahon made some remote changes to Smackdown. As Fightful said, we asked a WWE talent about Vince McMahon's general involvement over the weekend, and we're told that McMahon was calling in changes as recently as Smackdown regarding minor details that were in the script. We're working to find out how long he's been contributing again, as he was out of action for a while following major spinal surgery. In an interview with Deadline, Endeavor president and COO Mark Shapiro said this about the merger between UFC and WWE and the potential to combine media rights deals. Internationally, there is a lot of opportunity for that, but currently in the United States, we'll be negotiating UFC and WWE individually, just by virtue of the fact that they're in different renewal cycles. We will be wringing out cost synergies, but at the same time identifying those areas that are under-monetized or where revenue synergy significantly exists. And that's happening across our domestic and international media rights, our sponsorship and global partnerships, our product licensing, enhancing our live events through ticket yield, venue fees, and premium experiences, and then just overall expanding internationally. All of these businesses and doing it with a halo of the Endeavor flywheel, which cannot be underestimated the influence and impact that will bring. Bringing up when Vince McMahon began to see UFC as a partner to WWE, ESPN's Mark Raimondi wrote, we could see UFC and WWE events held in the same city on the same weekend. TKO could bring the two promotions to tourism authorities as a package deal and get paid to bring both to a jurisdiction. Site fees have already become a revenue stream for UFC and WWE. WWE CEO Nick Khan believes Vince McMahon started thinking seriously about Endeavor/UFC as a partner when he attended UFC 276 in July 2022 in Las Vegas with Khan, Levesque, Stephanie McMahon, and Pat McAfee. McMahon sees a lot of similarities between WWE and the UFC. Following the merger between WWE and UFC, this was said regarding leadership positions in both companies, with Mark Raimondi noting that Dana White will now be the CEO of the UFC rather than the president, but nothing will change as far as his role as the leader of the UFC. Paul Triple H Levesque will remain as the WWE head of creative and chief content officer. Speaking to ESPN, WWE CEO Nick Khan said this about the crossover possibilities between WWE and UFC following the merger. UFC fighters are going to stay focused on the UFC, and WWE superstars obviously do something different in our ring. But you also see in the UFC people with big personalities who, once their UFC run is done, once the UFC and the fighters say, hey, maybe now's the time to call it a day, could those people have a longer life at WWE and extended life with TKO? We think so. After speaking with WWE COO Lawrence Epstein, Mark Raimondi said this about WWE and UFC having a package media deal. UFC and WWE could be packaged for a media rights deal, but doesn't seem likely. Epstein said, could we end up on the same platform? Anything's possible. But right now, we've got a lot of diversity across major media companies here in the United States, and we'll just have to sort of see what happens. Despite the mentioned merger, WWE employees have been told to carry on as usual, with Nick Khan saying this via email. This morning, we announced that WWE and the UFC have officially come together to form TKO Group Holdings, creating a new premium sports and entertainment company. TKO will begin trading today on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol TKO. A big thank you to all of you for the hard work and commitment that helped us achieve this milestone. As we now begin this transition, we will be in touch with more details. In the interim, we will be communicating with each of you regarding new policies and procedures. HR will also be available to answer any and all questions you may have. We know when companies undergo change, it can feel like uncertain times. The special culture that WWE has cultivated over its long history is what has allowed our business to flourish, and we will be preserving that as WWE and UFC both continue to grow together as a part of TKO. As always, we'll continue to focus on the work throughout this transition and make sure to communicate with all of you throughout the process. Thank you, Nick Khan. It looks like WWE top brass might not be interested in a return to the company for CM Punk, as Mark Raimondi wrote. I asked WWE President Nick Khan today whether or not WWE would be interested in bringing back CM Punk following his firing from AEW. Khan didn't say yes nor no. This is what he responded. Listen, we only have respect for Phil. We appreciate his run here. We appreciate what he did and tried to do with the UFC. Not many people can actually get in there and do what he did. So when we have respect for Phil, we wish him nothing but the best. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.